those things, and they turn it into this whole blame game. This entire murder was blamed on video games when really there was probably a link of 1% or maybe 2% of that crime was linked to that person playing a first-person shooter. What's happening, guys? Gemma here and back again for another video. I want to talk about a topic that I don't think I've asked your opinion about, that I don't think I've even mentioned on social media, and it is about video games that are blamed for murders, and there have been a plethora of them. Now what I don't want to do is kind of cite off a million individual cases. I'm gonna pull from 2 cases in particular, and I want to know what you guys think. This is kind of pretty kind of close to my norms and values here. The media glamorise things, they blame things, and it drives me insane. Now, murders, things like that, aren't exclusive to video games, or movies are blamed. You know, song artist Marilyn Manson blamed for violent killings, and I do think it's wrong, but there are 2 cases in particular, one in 2012. Something horrible happened in Connecticut. It was the Sandy Hook killings, and there were 2 brothers actually. One of them, the perpetrator, had his brother's ID in his pocket. So when his body was found after these horrendous slayings, the police pulled out this ID, and it was his brother Ryan who was initially blamed for the murders. Now, in typical social media fashion, a lot of people that kind of picked up on this guy's name dove into his Facebook page, looked through his likes, and saw that he liked Mass Effect. Mass Effect, it just hit like on the page, Mass Effect, okay? So a game about slaying aliens, a game about travelling through space, and people went crazy. Now I'm going to show you some excerpts from a website that I'll link it in the description, pulled from Mass Effect's Facebook page, where people were actually going off on on this Mass Effect page, kind of blaming the developers, blaming the game for this killing that he didn't even do. It was his brother Adam who actually, you know, took his own life afterwards, thank God, prick. And it's like, what the hell? People go crazy, they're blaming Mass Effect because this guy had hit like on Mass Effect on Facebook. You know, this like could have been 1 million, you know, 100 likes in above numerous other likes, and I just think it's astonishing that people have to blame something. They have to blame a movie or a video game or a songwriter. And I think all too often video games can kind of fall victim to accusations, and I just find it unbelievable. So that was in 2012. A little bit of a later story, 2015, Adam Dees in Idaho, a perpetrator that killed a family of three generations, and GameSpot released an article, and this Adam Dees in his trial reportedly said playing video games made killing easier. I mean, honestly. Now, what I want to kind of really pick out and hone in on this, are video games to blame? My answer is simple, no they're not. These psycho motherfuckers are predisposed to something in their minds and in here before they even pick any of these video games up. You know, something violent like, I don't know, Mortal Kombat. Oh yeah, he played Mortal Kombat when he was a kid, you know. It doesn't matter. I mean, I do believe there is a link between watching violent films, playing violent games, and violence. I mean, there's been plenty of studies done. Look at the Bobo doll study, Google that if you've not Googled that, where there were 2 groups of children. One watched really nice, serene videos and then went off and played in a controlled environment and didn't show any violence. The other group of children watched violent cartoons, you know, where, let's say violent, you know, things like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles maybe, you know, violence was displayed after they played in a controlled environment, and they showed more aggression towards this Bobo doll than the other group did. So there is a link. But I firmly believe that the people playing the games, particularly kids playing over 18 games, you need to be very, very careful. You know, kids do mimic behaviour, swearing. You know, I've read about it a million times, but coming back to the kind of crux of the video, can you blame video games for murders? I don't think you can blame them. I think people are warned about the level of violence in video games before they pick it up. I think if you're over the age of 18, you need to be a little bit more mindful about what you play and what kind of state of mind you're in. But these particular guys that I cited here, you know, Adam and the other prick, I don't remember his name, thank God, not worthy, they obviously had something very fucked up going on in their minds before they played a video game and went out and commit horrible things that they commit. Don't condone it at all. But I think what's interesting is the way the public reacts. You know, particularly in the Mass Effect case, where they're just going through this innocent guy's Facebook, picking out on one thing and then charged off onto the Mass Effect Facebook page and went absolutely crazy. I mean, it absolutely astounds me. I mean, we could kind of talk about this all day. I could definitely talk about this all day, but you know, I like reading the comments and the debate from you guys, and maybe you can cite more examples. What I didn't want to do is entrench this video too much in examples. Conceptually, I think the question and the link between video games and murder and violence of any level really is something that we need to be absolutely mindful of, completely mindful. I think anybody with, you know, a significant mental illness playing a violent video game might not be the best idea. Watching a violent film, something like Saw or Hostel, might not be the best idea, because I think it can tap into that part of their psyche, it can tap into that part of their vulnerability, because mental illness is a vulnerability, and just kind of bring out those, you know, horrendous traits where people feel the need to go out and commit crime. There has to be a link. I think full blame is a little bit strong, and I think what happens with the general public, they pick up on those things. They pick up on those things, and they turn it into this whole blame game. This entire murder was blamed on video games, when really there was probably a link of 1% or maybe 2% of that crime was linked to that person playing a first-person shooter, or linked to that person playing Grand Theft Auto 5. You know, there have been plenty of cases where people have played, you know, GTA 5 for weeks on end, gone out and mimicked crimes from GTA. That's, yes, there's a big link, there's a bigger link there, but in these particular cases, no. I'm really passionate about this, and I want to get, you know, again, know what you guys think. So will it ever end? Will the general public, you know, ever stop blaming video games 100% on, you know, horrendous murders that happen? Let me know in the comments, guys, and if you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. I feel pretty charged, you know, after talking about that. I think, you know, like I say, those particular cases, I mean, there's just no way. I mean, fortunately, the guy, Ryan, who was initially blamed for the Mass Effect stuff, you know, it kind of died down, and the media did admit error. And I think what we need to remember is the media do glamorise things. You know, the media really do glamorise things. Oh, this guy, you know, this guy listened to Marilyn Manson when he was 10. You know, now he's 25, and that's why he commit these crimes. And no, dude, no. But let me know what you think, guys. Thank you for watching. If you've got any topics that you want me to discuss, drop me a comment. For now, have a great day, man. Take care. See you soon.